This is Odin's Wolf Survival, and this is a tutorial on making cordage. You can use any plant material that has fibers that are long enough and strong enough. And I realize in a lot of cases people can't get to plant material. They live in town or they want to do it without making all the mess, and you want to learn the skills. Well, this is an easy way to do it. I found rolls of jute about, what is it? This is a 200-foot spool, but I found rolls at the Dollar General store. It's down where the spray paint and everything is, and they're like $1 a roll, a couple 100 feet, 165, 200 feet, whatever it is, which works perfect for this. As cord itself, it's not really all that great, but when we do this, it makes it a lot better. So this is the process. What you can do if you really want to get old school, this is 2-ply, as you can see. So you can take the ply apart and you can actually separate out all the fibers. Well, it breaks down even more. This makes good fire starter material too, actually, once you get it broken down. But you can break down all these fibers like this and then twist up your cordage and really learn it old school way. But if you want to learn the skill without digging up all the plant material or hunting down the plant material, or if you just in some areas can't get it, this is one way. So take your cordage, your cord, your material, and you twist it. Twist it up. I twist this way with this hand, just tighten it up. It'll form a little loop. So you twist a little more and get hold of the loop. Once you got hold of the loop, and the way I was twisting it, you want to keep twisting each one tighter, and both legs now will twist the same way. And that's important. If they don't, you did something wrong. So in this case, as you're looking down into it like this, you twist clockwise. Twist it up tight, twist one leg up tight. You can see the fibers twisting up, and this makes the fibers a lot stronger in the cordage. I'll do a test later on some of this in another video. Then you bring it back counterclockwise as you're looking down into it, then over the other leg. You take your other leg you just took it over, twist it up, and bring it over. And you do this until you got the length of cordage that you need. Now, this is the start of a series of videos that I'm going to do little projects like this to where people can actually learn how to do this without, if you can't get into areas, you can learn some primitive skills and things along that line and just see how it is and make you some stuff. Around here in the great forests of Kansas, we have a lot of material and stuff that you can use. On one of my earlier videos, I was making cattail cordage. I've used daylily. We have nettle, stingweed around here that works really good. Cedar bark works really good around here. Some of the grasses, as long as you wet them down a little bit, you can actually make pretty good cordage. It's not fine, but you know, it'll work in a pinch to tie something. You just keep doing this over and over. But when you find the get a fibrous plant and you basically break it up, pound the stalk out and get all the fluff and crap out of it, and you'll have the fibers left. And once you do some, you'll see what I'm talking about. Then you take those fibers and you can dampen them a little bit in some cases. Other cases it doesn't need it, and you twist them on themselves like this, and you just make your cordage. And natural fibers are finite in length, which is one of the problems. So what you end up having to do is, once you get to the end of your cordage, we'll twist this out a little bit because we're actually going to use this in a project in the next couple projects videos. I've seen it done to where people, when they splice it, they half the length of whatever cord they're splicing and add it in that way, and that leaves a great big old bubble in your cord, which I don't really like in a lot of stuff. It doesn't really hurt anything, but if you're trying to slide it through something or use it for something, it makes it a real pain in the butt. So I try to splice one leg at a time, so I'll usually offset the cord. This one's offset a little bit, as you can see. It's not massively, but we'll get it down there. And there's faster ways to do this, like rolling both. Since they're twisting the same way, you can roll it down your leg and hang on to this and roll these down your leg and spin them up, get hold of them, and then twist this up and make cordage a bit faster. But since this is aimed at a beginner, all you guys that know how to do this, you're probably sitting there going, there's faster ways to do this. Yes, there is. But everybody needs to learn somewhere. So that's where this video is aimed. You can take crappy cordage and make better cordage doing this, which is kind of what this is. This jute cordage, the cheap cordage, isn't really very good because you can see thick spots, thin spots. It's not consistent, which makes the breaking strength only what the minimum is. So when you twist this up and lock it together like this, you're actually making the cordage a lot stronger and a little more consistent. It's getting, you can see it's a lot more consistent and it's a lot stronger. Okay, we're getting down to, I'll take it down to about an inch or so on the short leg. And you'll end up with a thicker spot. It's just gonna have to do. I'll take some of these fibers out a little bit. And if you're out in a pinch doing this, keep those little fibers because they'll work on your spark-based system for ignition pretty good. You flay them out a little further than what that is. And I like these little Mora knives for doing stuff like this just because they're handy. Again, you can trim these out to where you're dumping less material in all at once. All right, you got the short leg and the long leg. A lot of people will go in and run them both the same. That's fairly easy, and it will give a good strong rope, but I think this is actually stronger doing it this way. I cross them, put the short leg a little bit into the long section. The one you're wanting to replace, I'll usually go at the bottom and just run it behind it and start twisting. Bring it over both. Both of them are locked together, and you get a bubble in it, but you're not really, unless you actually go through and splice the two ends together, kind of work them together, which you can do, and I don't think it's quite as strong unless you're really good at it. And I can do it. It's just more of a pain in the butt, and with the size of my hands, it's a real pain in the butt. But then you go back to the single legs and you're back to cord making. It's a little thicker. You can go through and trim this up, make it a little prettier. But that's what it is. And it's strong. You're not going to break it that readily. Now, for a buck and a sharp edge and playing around, you can gain a skill.